Did you know that the real Dracula existed? Not the vampire from movies, but a ruthless ruler of Transylvania. His name was Vlad III, and his story is far more terrifying than vampire myths. But what if the legends about him are more than just myths? Perhaps bloody rituals and brutal executions conceal something greater. Vlad III was born in 1431 into a noble family. His father, Vlad II Dracula, was a member of the Order of the Dragon. In 1442, Vlad was taken as a hostage by the Ottoman Empire, where he endured a brutal school of survival. The Ottomans tried to break his will, but he did not surrender. He studied strategy, warfare, and the psychology of power. Returning to Wallachia, he realized the only way to keep power was through fear. Thus began his bloody reign. Soon, he earned the nickname Tepes, the Impaler. He gained this title for the most terrifying execution Europe had ever seen. One day, he ordered 20,000 people to be impaled. A forest of dying enemies was meant to strike fear into his foes. Legend says he drank the blood of his enemies, dipping his bread into it. This could have been propaganda, but the rumors spread across Europe. But his cruelty was not the only reason for fear. He never lost a battle, and his enemies believed he was impossible to kill. His death is shrouded in mystery. It is said that his body was buried, but when the tomb was opened years later, it was empty. Monks claimed that he rose from the grave and became a vampire. It is said that his spirit still roams the castles of Transylvania. Many have tried to find his body, but without success. Perhaps he didn't vanish by accident. Maybe his existence is more than a myth. Perhaps he was not a vampire, but his cruelty made him immortal in legends. His name still inspires fear. If you ever find yourself in Transylvania, remember, legends never die. They live in the shadows, in the mountains, in ancient castles. The story of Vlad Tepes remains one of the most mysterious in history. Perhaps his spirit truly lives on, hidden in the darkness of time. Thousands of people believe that his spirit still lingers in Transylvania. Some claim to have seen his shadow in castles and forests. Some tourists claim to have heard whispers in Poinari Castle, where Vlad once lived. Could his ghost still guard his fortress? Historians believe that the legends of Dracula are rooted in fear of Vlad's cruelty. But what if there is truth behind the myths? Perhaps he was just a man, but his name has lived on for centuries, and today it still inspires fear. Legends never die. They are passed down through generations, intertwining with reality and living on in people's minds. Even centuries later, his name both terrifies and fascinates. Some see him as a hero, others as a monster. But was he really a vampire? Or did the stories turn a man into a myth? Some say he saved Europe from the Turks. Others claim he was a demon who delighted in torture. Today, his name lives on not only in history books, but in novels, films, and legends. He became immortal not through blood, but through history. So who was he really? A great ruler or a monster? The answer to that question remains hidden in the shadows of the past. Subscribe to uncover more mysteries of history and secrets of the past.